Do you work with someone who makes you dread waking up in the morning? Someone who makes you want to hit the snooze? Someone who just sucks the life out of you? Well, in this series, we're going to talk about how to deal with those people. The people who zap the fun out of getting up and going to work. The people who make you dread pulling off the freeway and into the parking lot. Today, we're going to talk about the defensive coworker. The coworker that always has an excuse, who can't take feedback, that thinks everyone is out to get them. But don't trudge across the parking lot just yet. We're going to make your work life better with just 2 questions.
All right, we are back with another how to deal with those people. And today we are talking about how to deal with a defensive coworker. You've all been there. You've all worked with this person who always has a response for everything that you say. It is exhausting. If you haven't watched already, we have other videos like how to deal with a bossy coworker or a possessive coworker or a lazy coworker. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. Links are down below. Okay, let's jump in how to deal with a defensive coworker.
Let's tackle this one just like we have all of our other personalities.
So first, we're going to ask why.
Why are they being defensive?
Well, there are 3 possible reasons.
Number 1, they have feelings.
Yeah, we all do. Their feelings are getting hurt by the way we're delivering feedback. This is as simple as they feel sad, they feel mad, or they feel like they've disappointed themselves. So remember their feelings. The number 2 reason why they might be defensive is very similar to number 1, but these are their instincts. Their instincts are kicking in. They are feeling fight or flight and the need to protect themselves.
They're looking around going, who's gonna attack me?
So it's an instinctual response that we have when we feel like we're being threatened. And sometimes when we're being given feedback that is negative in some way or even constructive in some way, it feels like we're being attacked. So we go on the defensive. We go into fight mode. Unfortunately, we are the worst when this happens.
Literally, our brain shuts down.
Seriously though, the blood that typically goes to our brain is diverted to our vital organs, the things that help us fight or flee. Not biologically conducive to taking some feedback about how we could have done better in our cleaning routine. The number 3 reason someone might be getting defensive is a lack of confidence. So when you give them feedback, their worst nightmares are being confirmed. They already don't think that they're good at something. They already don't think you think they're good at something, and they feel like a total failure. So therefore, they get defensive because of their lack of confidence. Now, ones, if you've taken our Enneagram Amplified course, again, if you haven't, there's a link below in the notes.
You should sign up.
But ones have a constant inner critic, a constant voice in their head. Those of you who are ones who are thinking, how does she know, right? So for ones, that voice is constantly telling them they're not good enough, they're not doing things well enough, that's not perfect, you could do it better. And so when you give a 1 feedback, they're like, yep, told you so, you're the worst. You are a failure. You're terrible, how could you possibly go on? So those are the 3 reasons why someone might get defensive when you're just trying to give them some constructive feedback. So what are we going to do about it? All right, I have 3 solutions for how to deal with that. Number 1, we have to make it safe. So however that means that you start the conversation, stay in the conversation about the feedback, you have to be conveying that you have their best interest in mind.
You have to make them feel comfortable.
You have to make them feel liked. You have to make them feel needed and appreciated. So you're going to be aware of how you're giving that feedback. Are you coming across accusatory? Are you coming across like you're the judge and they're the defendant?
Are you coming across like you're the teacher and they're the student?
You need to come from a level playing field.
Hey buddy, I just want to help you succeed.
Hey friend, I want to help you win. That's where you need to be coming from with your feedback. So if you're frustrated that they keep doing something wrong, likely when you walk into that conversation, you're already on a downhill spiral and not being able to convey to them a safe environment where you're saying,
I care about you. This is a safe place.
and I want you to succeed. All right, the number 2 thing to do,
Put money in your bank.
if you've ever heard of a trust account with an animal, we have them with people too. And here's the crazy thing.
Some research shows that we have to give 6 positive compliments for every 1 negative piece of feedback or constructive criticism.
Are you living up to that? Because I sure don't think I do on a regular basis. So we have to put 6 deposits into our bank account in order to be able to withdraw 1. And for somebody who's new to the field, someone who has low self-confidence, or that 1 that I was talking about earlier, the 3s on the Enneagram also need this, we're probably doubling that ratio.
What? That's impossible.
We need to give them 12 compliments for every 1 constructive or negative feedback. So make sure that you're putting money in your bank. All right, our 3rd thing to do is to ask some questions. And we're going to ask questions at 2 different times. First, we're going to ask questions when we don't need to give any feedback. This is like a positive lunch conversation. This is a get to know you conversation. This is a, hey, we just talked about what we did on the weekend and now I'm going to segue into these questions. And here are the questions.
How do you want feedback?
When do you want feedback from me?
Do you even want my feedback?
And you're going to listen to their responses. If you're like me, you might need to write them down. We're also going to ask questions during feedback. And here are the kind of questions that we're going to ask while we're giving the feedback. If we start to notice that the person is getting uncomfortable, we can ask,
What are you thinking right now?
how are you feeling right now?
Are you upset?
I feel like you might be upset.
I feel like I might have hurt your feelings. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you.
I don't want to make you upset, but I do want to see you succeed. How can I help?
And after you've given feedback, you can say, how can I help you? Or how do you see that? Do you agree that this standard is the right one? Or do you think that we should relook at it? You can also say, what are you thinking right now? Or
Help me understand.
these are ways that you can ask questions during feedback that will help you stay in a safe place. So that's it. That's how you deal with a defensive coworker. Let's review. We're going to make it safe. So we're going to make sure that we're using kind language. We're going to make sure that we convey that we have their best interest in mind. We're going to put some money in our bank. So we're going to work on a ratio of at least 6 compliments to every 1 constructive criticism that we give. And we're going to ask lots of questions. Before we give feedback, we want to know how the person likes feedback and when we're going to give it to them. And during feedback, we're going to check in, make sure they're still feeling safe and not attacked. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. Enjoy your coworkers, enjoy your job, and I hope you are on your way to feeling empowered to own your own destiny and love your job again. Comment below. I want to hear from you. Make sure you hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel.